Welcome, socios. Thank you for signing up to the Big Interview Members Club. We caught up with Rafael Van der Vaart after training at his current club, Midtjylland in Denmark. Rafa is born, bred, one of the entertainers. If you're a fan of Spurs, or Hamburg, or a Madridista who saw him at his best at the Bernabeu, or for Holland, then you know this already. His ability to manipulate both the football and his direct opponent certainly made him one of the footballers that we talked about and will talk about long after they leave our particular club. These type of men give us moments that are ours forever. They're not always the kind of players that managers love, but fans do. They make us love football all over again. The guys at Midtjylland were fabulous. Thank you especially to Martin at the club itself and to the man of many mysterious ways, Robert Rowan, friend of the podcast, Brentford Brain, for his help in setting up this one from a long distance off. Good work, Martin. Good work, Robert. Thanks again to you, our socios, for supporting these podcasts, for subscribing. This is the first. There will be many more, but rarely will any of us meet a better footballer, better talker about football, than this one. Vamos, Rafa. A por ello. The Big Interview rides again. The Big Interview has, for the moment, its first World Cup finalist, its first Dutchman. It's the first time we've recorded in Denmark, and the reason is the gorgeous footballer Rafael Van der Vaart. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning in Dutch is?
Goedemorgen.
Y buenos días. Está igual para ti también?
Ah, qué bien.
Goedemorgen to you too in that case. Rafa, we're here because you don't just love football as much as we do, you make us love football. I want to ask, throughout your career, if you can sum it up, how much of every game have you dedicated to entertaining the crowd, entertaining yourself, enjoying, and how much have you had winning in your mind? What is the balance when you like to win, you're competitive, but you have a gift that most people don't, and you do like entertaining, I think?
No, you're totally true. I mean, when you start as a little boy to play football, winning is nice, but I always try to show the people what I was able to do, and I always tried that in my also professional games. But it's not always easier because you know how it goes. You become professional. The trainer's gonna say, no, we have to stand like this, tactics, and you know you have to move from right to left. But I think I'm a player. I always try to play my own style, and that's entertain people. I mean, I always I was thinking about there may be now 40,000 people. A lot of people are coming watching you, and they want to see nice things, things that you these days not see every game anymore. And I think that's a pity, and that's why we talked before this interview about romantic. I'm also a romantic guy, and I really like players, of course, like myself, but like Isco, that kind of players. I mean, and I think it's a pity that a player like that is not playing every game in Madrid, also sometimes on the bench. But yeah, it's true, it's the romantic guy sitting here and still loves every minute of the game. Football is romantic. One day I got very lucky. I was sent to do a big long hour interview with Johan Cruyff. Yeah. And today we're recording on the day after what would have been his 70th birthday. In that interview he said to me, because he was, as a coach and a trainer, he was very critical of players who didn't do practical things. But he told me that when he was at Barcelona, if they had a bad result the week before, then the first thing he would do at the Camp Nou was any kind of trick, not even for a practical purpose, just to get the fans up and going. When you're growing up, does the name Cruyff, does it bore you to hear it all the time? Do people still talk about him when you're beginning to learn about football, going back now? What was that name like to you then? No, I never saw him playing, of course, but when you come to holidays, to England, to Spain, to everyone, when you talk about football, everybody talk about Johan Cruyff. He make the Dutch way of playing big, and his name is massive. And you know, when I just came as a 17 years old guy, and he was talking about me and saying I was a great player, and then the people are gonna write about maybe it's the next Cruyff. I mean, nobody you can compare with Cruyff. He's amazing, but it was something special. Also the way of thinking about football, like easy things, some sentences like when we have the ball, the other team can't score. So, or when we score more than the other one, we win. So he just want to show nice football, and he preferred to win 4-3 than winning in a boring 2-0, for example. And that was his way of thinking, and I really like that way.
Right now, anybody around the world can read his autobiography with Chapter Cruyff. And in it, very early, he talks about, in those days, as does David Winner's Bergkamp book, Stillness and Speed, about using the street to learn. A lamppost, a curb, a car door, maybe running away, because I do remember Mario Melchot, Frank Rijkaard telling me some of Dutch street football used to also involve, not violence, but like it could be, there could be some retribution between who wants to be the best player, etc.
On the street you have to show that you're the best. And I mean, I grew up in a trailer camp. It was not a poor life, but it was a normal life. And I remember we had our trailer here, and we had just one wall. And I was just kicking the hole there alone, because my father had to go to work. And I was just kicking the ball left, right I didn't use, because I always thought, like, I prefer to have one really good one than 2 shitties. So I trained my left. And and then after school you play with on the street with your friends. And there what I think I learned the most about technical things, because then you play the ball under your feet to think quick, because it's small areas. And it's a pity that in these days the children almost never play on the street again.
Sometimes, I don't know if you can remember the first time that the trick comes off against a big guy on the street whether it's around the trailer park or in the school pitch. But that first time, it's almost as good as a goal.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, when I put the ball between somebody's legs, I'm still going home happy.
What do you call that in Dutch? You call that a panna?
Panna, yeah, exactly.
A panna, is it? We call it a nutmeg.
How?
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg, okay.
Yeah?
Panna.
Don't ask me why. Panna sounds better.
Yeah, it's better.
Panna is now, yeah. So
it was, then sometimes when I come home now, I train and I put a panna, and then my day is already good.
One time I interviewed Wayne Rooney, and I'd never met him before. But rather than talk about the publicity side of things, I asked him about football. He said something that I loved, because people don't respect him enough in Britain. They see him for the headlines, not for the footballer. And I asked him how he learned, and he said Litmanen.
Litmanen.
He said, I always used to study Jari Litmanen, how he got to where he was, what his choices were, and Rooney used to copy them.
Yeah.
Now, I'm dealing with a loaded card deck here, because Litmanen was, I think, somebody you also...
Yeah, when I came in 95, when they won the Champions League for Ajax. I was playing for Ajax when I was 11 or 12 at the time. And because he was a number 10, I was a number 10. Yeah, I wanted to be like him, because he was playing in the first team. And it's true what he said, because he was slow, Litmanen. He was not had really a good strong kick, but he was so clever to play between the lines. And as a number 10, I think that's the most difficult thing in football, playing between those lines, because when you get the ball, defenders coming from everywhere, and he was so smart in moving there, playing, turning, and play the ball to the striker. That was something special, and I had the privilege when he came back to Ajax. Then I was still there, so I played also with him in the first team. And then you can see, although he was a little bit older, but the quality was there, and that's why he's still a legend there.
When you study, whether it's Litmanen's use of space or, I don't know, Iniesta's, whatever, if you study a good 10, can you copy that?
I don't know if you can copy that. I think, I always say you're born with talent or you're a hard worker. And I'm one of the ones who are born with talent, but of course we also work hard, but it's like little things. I was never quick, so for me it was really important. How was my first touch? That was for me the most important thing, and that's what I always tried to get better because I knew when I control it like shit, the ball was far away, it was gone. So that was for me, that thing, the first touch was, I think, Liedmanen one of the best in the world at that time. But also how he looked over his shoulder, what happened in his back. It was like he had eyes in his back, and that was for me also. It was nice that Rooney said that because it's true.
He stopped and he studied and he tried to copy.
Yeah.
And that's how he developed. I was really impressed with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I agree because that you can see when I play now, I still have to look over my shoulder, and I also looked at from him because I was thinking why he can see what is in his back.
So do you have eyes in the back of your head or not?
Yeah, I have them because otherwise I was never a good player because I'm not that quick, and I think I have to have it for my first touch and my technique and my vision and so. But I looking like this I never did. I saw that at Liedmanen, and then I was not studying him, but I was watching a game and training with him, and then I was realized because I think maybe 30 seconds before he was always watching how it's behind me. And then he got the ball, and then he knew the situation.
So let me throw you this. There's a player, I don't know if you've heard of him, Messi, his name is.
Who is that?
Who is this guy?
The little.
When guys are that good, sometimes they do things that we don't understand. So lots of us, I live in Barcelona, so I've been lucky to see him since he was, 15. And as his career develops, sometimes he walks.
No.
And when the game is, you used your hands. It's an audio, not a video, but you use your hands just to show that sometimes it's a flurry. So when you see a guy walking, the lazy people will say, "Well, how lazy is he?" Then the next generation of people will say, "Boy, he's walking, but I don't understand." And Guardiola said, "I think when he's walking, he's taking an X-ray of everything, and that big picture is in his head, so that when he runs or the ball comes to him, he knows everything." When you talk about eyes in the back of your head, what is vision? What is peripheral vision? For the kids and the coaches who listen, try and tell them.
That's a question who many people ask, and that's also the most difficult question to answer because I think I'm born with it. Some think you can learn it, but I still think it's really difficult to explain. Vision is, sometimes I do something on the pitch, it comes out of nothing. And that's, in your head, you think, I'm going to do that. And it's not, and it happened a lot, but it just, I see before somebody passed to me who made the run, and then when I control it well, then I know, okay, there's the space, and then you play the ball to him. What Messi is doing is from another world. I mean, that's, for me, it's the best player I ever saw. But he also, of course, they at Barcelona, they know we put Messi, but we also have to leave him and do his thing because every other trainer said, "You're walking." You know what I mean?
Just of course they would.
Messi is our best player. When he feels well, or when he's playing well, then I think we have a good chance to win. That's the way how Barcelona play. And everybody who comes, Neymar, Suarez, maybe Zlatan, he wants to change somewhere. And after 1 year, they send him away.
They did.
So if you come, you have to play for Messi. And it's perfect. I mean, it doesn't matter, but that's the way it is there. And I think that's what Barcelona is doing a great job because he is the best. And he can walk for 90 minutes, but he can also score 2 times, even walking. And if I don't know if you have the big picture, but I mean, what he is, he's so quick with his feet. I also had the privilege to play against him. And it was, we lost in Bernabeu 2-6. And I came in and I just tried to kick him. But even that is not possible. He's so quick. And then he's gone again. And that's like, you look like you're playing PlayStation. That good.
I don't want to make you like a brain scientist, so I only ask your opinion, not a fact. But he's left-footed, you're left-footed. I sometimes wonder when the most creative players, the players who can do things that pop up in their head, the players who see the geometry of the angles of space, just that little second or two quicker than the other people. Is there some correlation between a left-footed guy and the part of the football brain, or is that never crossed your mind? Do you watch left-footed players?
I think the left-footed players are the most creative players in the world. You can see that, of course, you have some right-footed players, they are good. But for me, Cristiano Ronaldo is a great player, no question. But he's not creative, in my opinion. David Silva,
it's a joy to watch.
Yeah, that's a joy, and that's why I hope and I think I had a feeling down. That's why I also like this interview, because that it goes away, the real number 10s, because you have to be like Pogba, big player, strong, box to box. And I think when you have still players like me, like Silva, Sneijder, of course Messi then, but like little one, Iniesta, I think that's why you're gonna buy a ticket.
Yeah, for sure.
And me too. And not about seeing a game 0-0 and 1-0 and maybe they're gonna be champion. Yeah, then I prefer to be third, but I had a great season. And when I was playing at Tottenham, the people came to us, and maybe we were playing football-wise the best football in the league. We were not winning nothing, but the people still talking about that team.
They're in love with that.
Yeah,
in love with what they saw.
And I think now, of course, they also have a great team. But at that time, we had Modric, me, Lennon, Defoe, Bale, so much great players who can do something special. And I remember a game we played against Arsenal, home. We were 1-0 down, 1-1, 3-1 down, and 3-3, and we had chances to score, and it was a great game. But we needed a win. And then Harry Redknapp, he's one of my favorites because he also loved the game so much. And he was telling me in the interview, I just want to say thanks to everyone. I had a great night. But we needed a win to come to the Champions League.
But he enjoyed the football.
He just had a great night. And that's what football all about.
Why would it be that joy, alegria, creativity is a little bit being extinguished? We know that there are coaches or football directors who say, "Give me the big guy who can run and jump." We know it happens. Yeah. But why would it be that people want to see less of beauty or are scared of pausa and creativity? Why do you think this is?
Yeah, I really don't know. I think it's also the maybe the pressure from outside. You have to win, or you have to do that, or like in Holland now is also we are on a point we're not qualified for the European Championship, maybe not for the World Cup, and they are really looking like what we have to do now because Germany they're doing well or that, and I always say no, we are Holland. What is when you think about Dutch football? It's technique, it's controlling the game, it's always with 3 attackers. Go and nice games and the stadium is full. Why? Because we play good football. And of course they say Holland never win, but we always an outsider and we're a small country, but we always play nice football. And why you should change that? Stay your own. And I think that people are too much thinking about winning, and that's why I still hope that Barcelona wins the Champions League. Bayern München also still play really good football. They win the Champions League, not Juventus or not teams who just run and play hard. And that's what I hope. And I hope there are still trainers in this world that still want to see David Silva, want to see Van der Vaart, want to see that kind of play, because at the end of the day, that players decide games for you.
Well, there's one of the things we do this for, because we are not going to change the world with our podcast. But kids are listening. Dads are listening.
Yeah, of course.
Coaches are listening. And within the professional game, lots of people listen and they comment favourably. And still what frustrates me and makes me mad is you feel like this. I feel like this. Our listeners feel like this. And that makes me sad. But you raised what people will call a cliche about this. Holland are good and technical, but they don't always, or they don't often win. 88, they won. Junior times, they win. I was given the job of following Spain, with Spain every day in South Africa. So we come to the final, and I remember sitting with PK in the last interview in the training camp in Potchefstroom, and his excitement, because for him it was kind of like the perfect final. Spain against the country which gave him, his club, the guy, Cruyff, that made the whole. So it felt like the parent country against the young kid country. But the football then was a little bit different. The final was a little bit different. It wasn't a particularly Dutch performance. I didn't think.
No, exactly.
Take us to before that final.
But that's also like, I remember I was playing as a left winger. The first 3 group stage games, and then I was a little injury, and then I came back in the semi-final. I came in because we were playing well. I came in half-time against Uruguay. And when you look back at that game, I think we played maybe our best 45 minutes from that tournament, and then maybe because we could have scored 6 times. And we were leading 3-1, then came back 3-2, and then at the end we did it. But that was so good. And then the final,
why was that so good? What your change or the coach's mentality?
Because at that moment, Sneijder de Jong got a red card, so he was not playing the semi-finals. We were like playing with Van Bommel, and I came in as a 6, and Sneijder as a 10, 2 little ones. I took the ball, played to him, boom, he gave it back. So we were playing, and we had some nice attacks, scored and everything. And then the final, I knew already before the final that I was not playing, because Sneijder de Jong came back and the rest stayed the same. And I think it's a pity. My way of thinking, when you play against Spain, they just get nervous when we also get the ball.
Yes.
Otherwise they don't get nervous.
Yeah.
And then maybe, of course, we could win the game because we're playing hard and they had some problems with it, but to play the Dutch style, then you need also. Then when I was a trainer, okay, we play against Spain, they're probably the best team in the world, but we're also good with the ball, and we're going to show it.
And take the ball from them.
And take the ball, because when they don't have the ball...
Make them chase a little bit.
Yeah, then they also have to run. And in my opinion, that was, of course I was not playing, so I always think about me and why.
Okay, but you also watched it.
Yeah, but when it was another player, then I also put him, when it was a good player, to play football, because I think it's that's the wrong way to win a game. Just think, okay, we have to stop Spain. No. We played in 2008 also fantastic football. We beat against
those games were
Italy,
marvelous.
France, and Spain was really scared for us.
Yeah.
And we had one bad game against Russia and we were out. So it was bad luck, I think. And we had a bad day, and normally you come through semi-final, and then that's the football Holland that we should play. And that was, for me, it was really a privilege to play. But then you can also play 3 hours without a problem. And but it's true. 2010 Spain against Holland. It was it was amazing.
You've said before that you really believed the Marek idea before the finals was, if you don't believe, stay home. But you really believed that Holland could win this, and that Holland can score so many times. Maybe Puyol escapes the red card, but because of my job, my fortune is I'm standing on the touchline, right there, about 25 meters from you, and I swear my heart almost exploded when Sneijder, your boyhood chum, he's falling and he just pokes the ball through, and Robin is running through.
Yeah.
Do you remember the moment?
Yeah. Then.
What are you feeling in this moment? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember the chances, and then, of course, at the time I played for Real Madrid, and when you come back after the World Cup, and Casillas shows his fucking toe, with the toe he saved.
It's just the toe, isn't it?
I just wanted to kick him, because that is still, it's still a difficult thing to talk about, because we were so close.
Arjen does the right thing, because Iker was always going to go from right to left in his dive. And Arjen knows this.
Oh, but that's. I mean, normally it's a goal. It's just bad luck. It's just bad luck. Normally he saved it, but he doesn't know how he did it. Amazing goalkeeper. He really won that final also for Spain.
I'm sorry to talk about it then if it's a sore one, but it fascinated me because I heard Cruyff the next day angry about the playing style, and also I felt I heard from Marwick saying that's not how I wanted it, because there was some moments. De Jong on Xabi Alonso. There's a couple other moments.
Yeah, but that
also, you have to cover. This interests me because I think that's sent off. Okay, so it's just 2 yellows. in football, it can happen. But you, in my imagination, as the goal is coming up, I think you slot in for him, or you're covering.
I was sliding. I make a sliding, and then Iniesta shoot. But the biggest thing was, of course, we should have a corner kick. You remember?
It's true. I don't know what happened there because it is.
Sneijder shoot it that way in the ball, and he said goal kick. So, but that's.
Do you know what it looks like to innocent eyes? Yeah. And I'm not making accusations. In my opinion, the referee all the time after Nigel on Xabi is going, I missed a red card. I missed a red card. I missed a red card. I don't want Holland to score a corner. It's my opinion. Human nature is my opinion.
But still, of course we were down with 10. But that's also the way of we wanted to win it. We tried to go forward. And it was a pity that it was not, because imagine you win the World Cup. Then forever you're a legend, and in Holland we needed that so much, and that was a big chance, and now you can see that we're so far away from winning something. That's a pity.
The happier times we pick up from listening to you and watching you was, if you put all the circumstances together, was Spurs the happiest time? If you think about the brand of football, the guys you were with, the manager you had, the atmosphere, the life in London. Because you're a cosmopolitan man.
Yeah, no, I was. I played my best football there, and it was a difficult decision because I have to leave Madrid, big club.
They woke you up, right, one afternoon to tell you about the transfer.
Yeah, because I was with the national team in Holland, and during the day you always have 3 hours like a siesta. So I was sleeping and I woke up and I had half an hour to decide. And I didn't know Tottenham that much. I knew Edgar Davids played there, and Martin Jol was there, and I knew it was a big club. But I thought, I have to decide now, leaving Real. It was difficult. And then I said, fuck it, I will do it. They see me in 2 weeks because I had to play the games with the national team. And it was my best decision what I made in my career because, what I did there, the way. But also the way how Harry was treating me, that's what a player wants. That's what a player like me, I think, play the best football. His meeting was basically play the ball to Luka Modric, Modric give it to Rafa, and then we will win, like this. Or put it up to Crouchy, and like
top boy.
It was a fantastic team, and I think when we stay together. Then
maybe big things were coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And then something like what's happening now with Leicester, for example, last year, that could have happened.
It could have been
100%.
Because Harry's been a fellow guest, and we adore him. Yeah. And it was
everybody in England.
But not because he's funny. For the things you pointed out, he loves football even more than we do. Yeah. And when we asked him, but who do you buy? He said, I buy players who can play. I want footballers. He comes from that West Ham idea where you try to win, but you try to entertain. Technique is everything. Intelligence is everything. Why wouldn't you love him? So he can be very, very funny too. He's got brilliant stories, but I love him because of his football.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody laughed about him, but he's a smart man. But he likes to entertain. Yeah. And that's why the people, I think, love him, and I'm still happy that I was could play with him because and for him, and that's also a good thing when you're a manager that you have players that want to die for you. It's a big word, but goes through the fire, and say okay. And his meeting was basically telling us, enjoy. We have the best job in the world. Enjoy. And every time when we walk on the pitch, especially home, you see the pitch, you see the stadium, nobody could beat us.
I wish we had a camera now because Rafa is beaming. There's a huge, big, happy smile on his face. What's the first meeting like? Because you have half an hour to decide, you play with the national team, you're going over there, there's a tiny butterfly in the stomach because at this stage you don't know if you've made the right choice.
No, it was big, because I also didn't spoke with nobody from the club. I just spoke with my manager, and he said they want to have you, Daniel Levy, and I said okay, then we go, and then you come there, you don't know nobody, and then you have to start, and so it was a big thing. But you know, I come to the club, Harry first game puts me number 10, not waiting about. He has to get feeling for each other, or, you know, no, he's ready, he's fit, he play him, and I played my game, and then I also had the luck that I was straight away playing well.
Yes. And
then of course the people love you, and but it was also easy in this team.
Because of the quality.
The quality was so good, and then you know every game we were the better team. And when you have players like me who doesn't defend that well, then it's nice for me when we got the ball the whole time, and it was something special. I didn't have that feeling in Madrid. I didn't have that feeling in Hamburg. There was my best time.
Sometimes at Ajax.
Ajax, of course.
Depending on the coach, maybe.
Yeah.
And when you break in at Ajax, the team is struggling, and also when you break into the team, there's some of the guys have been signed. They haven't come through the academy. That was the era then. Yeah. It gets better as you go on.
Yeah, in the beginning I had my best time, and then after that it was more difficult. Of course, the pressure was crazy, but we were still, we played with Ajax quarterfinal Champions League. We were throwing out from AC Milan last second. Yeah. So we had a great team.
This is Pinar's in this team, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm at that game.
Pinar, Trabelsi.
Who is the striker that... Thomason?
Thomason scored,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there were so many...
Trabelsi. People forget what a footballer
he was.
Yeah, baby.
He had bad knees, but he was
if he'd stayed fit, he's a 50, 60 million player.
Was fantastic.
Tunisian?
Yeah, Tunisian.
Yeah.
Big clubs wanted to have him, but the problem was that I think his injury, his knee, was not coming to the medical check. So, but what a team, Christian Kifu.
Good player. You play with him and you play against him.
Yeah.
Because coming back to Spurs, he's in that team that
Inter.
You destroy. Now, I don't think you play in the San Siro game. You play Milan, but not the San Siro game. No. And I don't know, something happened in that San Siro game. I can't quite remember what it was. Some young Welsh kid.
Bale scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. But
are you in the stadium watching or on TV
no,
watching?
I was in London. I was watching on TV. But that game, he scored 3 times. But we played bad. We were 4-0 down. And then at the last 10 minutes, he scored 3 times or something.
And it could be a win.
Yeah, it could be a win.
If there's another 6-7 minutes.
Absolutely. So, and then we went in the home game, and then we knew, and they were scared. No, they were scared. And then that game for me, Bale played absolutely crazy. I think Maicon, he never came over that game.
Because in his day, Maicon was a Trabelsi.
Yeah.
In the treble season, Maicon was everything, but
in that game, he looked slow.
Bale gobbled him up. Yeah. Well, he looked slow in the first game, and then, sorry, Rafa Benitez, he plays in the second game again, and you all know what's going to happen this time again, right?
Of course. And then as a team, we played fantastic. So it was a great night, and that's also what
you get one, I think.
I scored the first one. Yeah. Good pass from Modric. It was amazing action, and then I scored. And I just played 45 minutes because I got injured. But what a night.
Kivu in this team?
Yeah, Kivu, Eto'o, Sneijder.
They're the treble holders?
Yeah.
Sneijder, this isn't a rude question, but football is based on rivalries. Did you? Hey, Wes?
Yeah, of course.
A little bit.
We are good friends, so that before the game I visited him because the day before the game they came and I went to the hotel and speak a little bit with him. Yeah, that was nice.
I'm kind of thinking about after the game, not before the game.
Yeah, after the game as well.
A little bit of teasing?
We went for dinner, I remember.
No way?
Yeah, we went for dinner.
Whoa, there can't have been much conversation that day.
No, he was pissed.
Past the fucking salt.
He was pissed. I said, you guys won the Champions League? Isn't that difficult?
Oh man. And of course we love Crouchy. The red card, I'm also in the Bernabeu that night. The red card conditioned everything. And it wasn't like him. A man who learned his great skills from the curver method. I don't know if you know this. So his touch was good, so his technique was good. But that night, his touch was too big on the shins of the Madrid player, and that changed everything.
Yeah, that changed everything. Of course, something like that can happen. It's football, and but if you play in Madrid, and something like that happened after
they're on you
50 minutes, then it's over. Then we tried everything. I think at home we also played a good game.
Yeah,
we had some good chances to score, and but of course it was not possible to come to the next round.
People started immediately arrive in London saying the word Arsenal to you, right?
Yeah.
So, did it feel like Ajax Feyenoord? Did it feel like Holland, Germany? Before you played Arsenal, what did it sound like when people said, we have to beat Arsenal, North London?
I think, like when you come to a club and you're a new player, I think it's really important because I don't know much about the club. But of course, you're going to look into it. What are the important games? And then you also think, okay, that game, I want to do it. And because it's that important for the club, for the people, they pay a lot of money for you, so you want to give them something back. So I arrived, and our team manager, Alan Dixon, I don't know if you know that name, but fantastic guy, the best team manager I ever had.
Wow.
And he said, Rafa, look, he showed his Tottenham tattoo on his leg, and I said, just one game, I ask you. Arsenal. And I remember we played away the first time. Yeah. And so I was focusing at home, nervous, like I'm normally not really. And I thought, okay, special feeling. And we started that game, 45 minutes. I think I touched 2 balls, one with my feet and one with my head. It was terrible. And then we came in the dressing room, and then Harry came in. He screamed something, I don't know what. And he said...
Did you not ask Joe Jordan to translate?
No. Joe.
Joe, yeah?
No.
No, even worse.
No, even worse. And he said, I think it was, he took somebody out, the forward. That's it, and he went away. Okay, we were sitting there, we have to play a little bit better now. So we went out from the beginning.
Wow.
It was like another team, and we turned that game, and we won 3-2.
3-2 game.
And that was...
First time since, I think, maybe in 93,
25 years or something.
Yeah.
They told me when they win an away game.
Yeah.
It was... and then after the game, and everybody said, wow, and, what did Harry said half time? What a crack, what a manager, And I was thinking, just you in, you out, and that's it. So that's...
So what did... So he says, you're in, you're out. He goes, and you say from the first instant you go out, you're all on it. Yeah. What happens, Rafa? Is it psychology?
I think what Harry did well, he knew when to say something and when not. And that's, I think, is his experience. Maybe not just in football, but it's in his life, that sometimes you can't say nothing. Just shut up and do your job.
Some coaches overspeak?
Yeah, because you're 2-0 down. We had possession 10%, I think. It was unbelievable bad.
That's not the Spurs way.
And no, so it was like, okay. And then you can do like a big meeting or something. No, he just said, fuck, it's so fucking bad.
Yeah.
And then it was like all of a sudden we were playing good, but it was also, I think, the first ball, Defoe kept the ball in front, turn it, shoot, almost goal, and then you feel, ooh, maybe it's coming now. And then, we played 45 minutes, our best football, and we scored 3 times. And I myself took a penalty and 2 assists. So
it's a good day at work.
Then there was a good day at the office.
We're grateful to Midtjylland. And at the end, I need to ask you a little bit about life in Denmark, Danish football. But I wanted, before I let you go, I need to use your brain. Because you talked about the 6-2, you talked about Barcelona and the enjoyment they give you, maybe as a football fan, not just as a player. That day, 6-2, where you come into the game, did you notice quickly that famously now, Guardiola had noticed that Cannavaro and Metzelder didn't come out and press, and Diarra and whoever was playing, maybe Gago, left some space. And now, famously, Henry was asked to play wide left. Eto'o the 9. Well, you have 2 9s in Henry and Eto'o. He's asked to play on the left back. And this little kid, Messi, who's known by then, but he's in, like you said about the Manon, he's in that space. And they have overload of numbers. When you're watching the game, what are your football eyes telling you when Madrid start to win, Higuain gets the goal? Do you notice that Barcelona are a little bit different? Do you notice that maybe Madrid should close the gap? What's the experience? Or is it just, oh shit, look what they're doing, man?
Yeah, at that time, the only thing what I thought, they're too good. We had just bad luck that in these 2 years, when I was there, I mean, we got 99 points in 2 years.
Poor.
Or maybe 98 or 99, I don't know. And they got every time 3 or 4 more. I mean, now you are champion with 80 points. And what they did was, from the back, starting with Valdez, they're just playing the whole time. We pressed them, they kicked the ball away, out, but they kept on trying to build up. And then at the end you can't press anymore because you're also getting tired. And they try to play and they come through and then you think, ooh, we go a little bit back. And that's what happened. That's why in the beginning we were okay. But then you feel like, ooh, on the ball they were scary. Because every ball through, it was a big chance. And my football heart was like, just enjoying.
Wow.
It was, and everybody in the stadium, because Real Madrid has the tough fans. The fans are tough, but they also
feel they should be winning all the time.
They also have a lot of respect
When
Barcelona is playing like that, and absolutely. And then I think they also got applause sometimes because they were like and tiki taka, and we were not able to because we didn't have the ball, and that's also the way how Cruyff thinks. And when you play against a team who wants to have the ball, who needs to have the ball, then you also have to put a team who also can play. Because then just they get nervous.
Then give me some happy things about here. You're in Denmark. This is a guy like you. You could still, for sure, in my opinion, be leading a team to a trophy, maybe leading a Champions League team. But there must be things that make you happy here: culture, football, idea.
No, it was starting in. I went to Betis Sevilla, and I had a really difficult time there. And when you talk about Spanish football, I thought they want to play. And we had a manager, and they came, and then he was putting me on the bench. He was saying, "Yeah, I just need fighters." So you're on the bench, and I said, well, "Fuck off then." And I go.
It was unbelievable because those fans want to be entertained there.
Yeah.
They want to be.
I didn't get my chance there, and then I met my girlfriend. She is from Holland, but she plays handball here in Denmark. And then you're on a point, what you want to do. I could go to China, I could go to places, but I also have a little boy, he's 10, he lives in Hamburg. And then my girlfriend said, you don't want to play for Midtjylland, it's not far away from where I live. And I said, no, Danish football, why? And then coincidence, they called 2 weeks after if I want to talk, and I said okay, let's talk. And then they showed me everything, and the people it's like Tottenham, like a family club, nice people. And so I said okay, I make up my mind and I want to come. And that's why I make the decision. It's just 2.5 hours to my son, to Hamburg.
Perfect.
So that's also perfect. So I chose for my private life and still can play, have fun.
But you talked about applause in the Bernabeu. This is the country where the loud drums came through. This is the country where Jesper Olsen came through. This is a country which appreciates skill and creativity and mischief.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can show this and be appreciated?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I have the feeling here. The only thing is what I miss is the big stadiums.
Yeah.
To come in a stadium and you think, wow, now I'm going to show it. So it has to come really out of yourself, the motivation, and sometimes you play horses away. There's 900 people in the stadium. Rainy, windy, and that's why I still think that's why I love that game so much, because then I also have fun. And but it's true, the people, because Danish players also skillful.
Yeah.
So it's a great league for me on my age to play in.
You made me break my promise to you, because I want to make this the last theme, because I'm thinking laterally. It's my view that we live in a world where there's a lot of injustice, where people don't care so much for our individuals' community. And it was in the back of my head, and I remember that when you were growing up, I think, because of where you lived, people did they treat you differently at school, am I right? That they made you... And I kind of sometimes hope that when a great footballer, a man that people dream about watching or being, gives a little message to people whose life can be maybe they're being treated in a bad way or being made to feel like an outsider. Am I right in thinking that for no good reason some people treated you differently when you were young? And can you, if it's true, can you give anybody listening whose life is being made difficult or feels lonely or unsure about their future, can you give them some kind of feeling that you can take that and make it right?
Yeah, like I never felt different, because I'm from Holland, but it's true. It was I lived a different lifestyle, and people, it was more a little bit like scary thing. They were a little bit scared, so they were not talking that much to me on school or in Ajax. But then when they met you, it's okay. But what I always learned, and why I always play football, I wanted to make my family happy and to show my talent, what I got, to make it better. And I had one dream, and I also telling that my little boy, I said, listen, when you have that dream, because he's a quite good player as well, you have to go 100%. And it's not funny to say, I want to be a professional football player.
Don't be scared to say that, you mean?
No, because you remember when you're at school and you have to fill in your work later, and football. And everybody will start laughing at football because I was bad in school. Not bad, but not good enough. And I just said, I'm going to be a professional. That's it. And I did like this, and I was in my tunnel and I didn't let things come in, and I said, I want to reach my goals, and then I did it. And that's what I tried to teach also my little boy, that everything, once he said, I can't take free kicks, or I can't do what you want. I said, listen, that's not possible. Just do your own thing, but try to be the best every day in your style of playing. And then he asked me a lot of things, how you kick the ball like this. And they always want to be like Ronaldo. and I said, listen, you don't have to be like your father, you don't have to be like Ronaldo, just be Damian. That's his name. And that's what I want to teach. When somebody you can't do it, don't listen. Do your own thing. Even when the trainer say, go right, sometimes it's good to go left. Because on the pitch, then you can decide that a guy who's standing there can't do it. And that's what Harry realized. And that's why he was always sitting on the bench, enjoy the game, because he knew I don't have to say to Rafa or to Luca, pass the ball to the right, because they will see it. And when they don't see it, then they have a better solution.
I think, given that Cruyff is listening, he'll be happy. The whole beauty of football, when the coach says, right, sometimes go left. That'll do for me. So anybody listening, have a dream, it's what Rafa's saying. Practice on your left foot, sometimes on your right foot. Yeah. But go
Not
for
too
it.
Much.
Go for it 100%. And then when you win, have dinner with your friend and tease him. That's football in a nutshell.
That's football, and doesn't matter where you play. Bernabeu, Champions League final, always have fun, like you had fun when you were 6-7 years old.
I don't think I've applauded at the end of a podcast before, but Forza Rafa. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty.
The Big Interview is produced by Backpage and me, Graham Hunter. The music you always hear, the music that you love, is Beer Jacket. You can keep up with everything that we do, within reason. You can enter exclusive competitions and put your questions to our future Big Interview guests by getting on the mailing list at grahamhunter.tv. How many times do I have to tell you? Yes, several thousand of you have done it, but come on, slackers at the back, sign up. That grahamhunter.tv site is also where you can buy the new updated version of my book, Barca, the Making of the Greatest Team in the World. It's my account of the Guardiola era at the Camp Nou from 2008 until 2012, plus Tito, Tata and Adios Johan Cruyff. It is in all good bookshops now, but it does also make a big difference to all of us who've worked on the project if you choose to buy direct at grahamhunter.tv/books. You'll be sure to get the new edition, and you will be helping us to continue producing independent content. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being there. Without you, this would be fun, but a lot less fun. See you soon.